Good morning. This is the August 27th meeting of the North Andover Youth and Recreation Services, Youth and Recreation Council. My name is Andy Furman. I am the chair. Going to read the governor's statement on open meeting laws. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law 30A-18, and the Governor's March 1st, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Youth and Recreation Council will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information in the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.northandoverma.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so on their televisions by tuning to Comcast Channel 99 or Verizon Channel 28, or online at www.northandovercam.org. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Town of North Andover website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after this meeting. Please send comments, topic related, to the chair, Andrew Furman, at acfirm@yahoo.com. At this point, I will call to order our North Andover Youth and Recreation Council meeting. I'm going to start the meeting with a quick roll call. Andrew Furman is present. Jenna Sidori?
I am present.
Thank you, Jenna. Larry Allen?
Present.
Holly Williams? Peter Breen? Dan Moore?
Present.
Jonathan Hertig?
Present.
Dan, you're present, right? Terry Holland?
Present.
Kevin Driscoll? Demi Marsh?
Present.
Rick Gorman?
Present.
Awesome, thanks. So I hope everyone's had a great summer. At this point, want to take a quick update on summer programs. Rick, if you can give us an update. I know I've heard fantastic feedback from folks around town that I've talked to, but hats off. We were one of the few communities that were able to operate that. So congratulations to you and your staff. And I would love a quick update on how that went and what the recap is.
Thanks. Well, obviously, the first three words is we did it. Obviously, most people felt that this was not something that could succeed. We were one of the few communities in our area that actually even attempted it. Shout out to my peers in Andover who actually did some programming also, but neighboring communities did not. And obviously, we took a huge risk in proposing what I thought was an extremely safe plan. And the end result was 8 weeks of summer programs, 819 kids involved, 0 COVID-19 issues, and probably with the pandemic looming on us, obviously the best summer we've ever had. We had a very strict, safe plan. We had a nurse consultant this summer, Lauren McDonald, who was amazing, that assisted us with everything. I think the number one thing is we had a vision. We had experts involved, either from the town, the health department, doctors, nurses, smarter people than myself in helping cultivate what this plan was going to be. We then hired overall 150 high school and college kids, trained them for 10 hours in June, and pretty much started off June 29th with all of our programs. And obviously we had some kinks to work out. We had some adjustments with obviously the guidelines, just first of all, understanding the guidelines, because I think the reality is the average person doesn't really even understand the guidelines. I'm sorry, not even know the guidelines, never mind understand them. So the guidelines were constantly changing. We had to work with obviously everything from masks to social and physical distancing issues. We had to work with health screening, which was an amazing thing. We've just finished all the data for the summer, and it's amazing what we're actually able to accomplish from a health perspective. We had zero COVID-19 issues, but there were a number of scares throughout the summer, mostly affected by people outside of our organization that had some effect towards our people, such as family members that may or may not have been COVID-19 positive, some risky programs that didn't follow guidelines and how that affected us. But overall, as the nurses agreed, the reason why we succeeded where everybody else failed is that we followed our safety plan to a T from day one through the last day. Major shout out to our parents, obviously, who trusted us in putting this program on. They were phenomenal throughout the summer, motivating us, keeping us going, championed all of our successes. It was an incredible. I have 63 pages of emails and pages of Facebook posts with 7 to 10 posts on each page. So accumulating over close to 1,000 responses to people just saying how great this summer really was. I think we're credited to taking on something to bring back normalcy that the community had not had throughout the spring. I think our attention to detail is something that communities should be basically taking our lead on of how to actually pull this off. I've just completed a presentation that I'm going to make wherever and whenever to anybody who wants to hear how you can put on a summer program during a global pandemic. Major kudos to my staff. I don't want to ever hear anyone say that kids can't lead and kids can't follow guidelines and whatever. 150 staff people were the leaders with our young kids in how to wear masks, how to follow guidelines. The 819 kids deserve an amazing credit for wanting to have this program and being willing to follow the guideline. I'm very outspoken. I don't want to hear anyone saying we can't wear masks. We proved that all levels, kindergarten kids all the way through high school kids and college kids, that masks were a minor issue at all this summer. And we wore them 5 hours a day in 95-degree weather. So an absolute phenomenal thing. I credit, obviously, the experts involved, my full-time staff, the creation of a 16-person college think tank, which actually helped design everything from the health screening all the way down to how we were going to do contactless activities. And if anyone was around the last day of our programs, it was the most emotional days I've ever had in 32 years here running the youth center. I am lucky to have been involved with many major things here as far as building the department, building the youth center, but this by far is the greatest thing that I was ever part of, hardest thing I was ever part of, but also the greatest thing. And, I'm a strong believer that, we're not going to crawl into bed and wait for a vaccine. We got to live, we got to do things, and we can do it safely. And all of the programs in the state that did not make it are all studying what we did. So this is probably the greatest thing the youth center and the youth services has ever done. So quickly, it's just, it was a phenomenal summer, and we're now kickstarting, and we'll talk about in a few minutes, is based on our successes, we're ready to roll to get this youth center back open.
Rick, that's awesome. I think it's safe to say that you've accomplished the impossible. And again, can't reiterate enough the positive comments that I've heard. Truly appreciate that. Does anyone on the line have any questions or any comments for Rick and Demi and the staff?
No.
Hearing none, we will move on to the review of the fall program, and I'll make a quick note. As a chair, I made a decision to move out of order on the agenda. We do have a vote on the representative to the town's Commission for Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity. I originally had that first, but Rick has a meeting at 9 a.m., so I wanted to go through these items first. So let's move on. And Rick, if you can give us an overview of what the fall programming looks like.
Sure. I do need to leave early, as you said. I'm excited. I'm meeting with the entire administrative staff from the school department, superintendent and principals, as well as directors of programs, and going to be able to share our successes from the summer and a Q&A on a number of questions they have on that. So that's where I'll be ducking out. But in terms of fall programming, Demi and I will be presenting to Melissa Rodriguez, our town manager, Dee Casey, our deputy town manager, Brian LaGrasse, and Carolyn Ippinson from the health department, and we'll be doing that next Wednesday. This is to talk about the official reopening. I think what's confusing is the building was open this summer strictly for our summer programs. So when our summer programs were over each day, the building wasn't open to the public. People cannot come into the youth center at this point without an appointment. So we are looking, coinciding with the opening of schools in their hybrid model, as well as the opening of other municipal buildings, including the town hall. We are ready to go. Our plan is to open up on Monday, September 21st. We are proposing our plan of how to use this building. I will be providing at some point in the next week a complete proposal that will be presenting Melissa to the board. I do want you to think outside the box. We will not be looking at the youth center as an 18,000 square foot building. We will be looking at our campus, and that's what we're calling it, 4.8 acres. So we will be utilizing the building. We will be utilizing our outdoor space. We are going to be taking over Drummond Park. So this fall, no sports will be played on Drummond Park, with the exception of things associated with the youth center. We will be putting up portable structures, being tents, that will be used so we can spread out our activities. We will obviously have recreational activities outside, but we will have tent space, which will allow us some of our, sit-down programming, or just a space that kids can actually participate in. So 18,000 square foot building is really a 4.8 campus. We're going to create our own, not to use a better word, but a bubble aspect of what our site is. We will be looking at using the facility based on grades. So we're in the middle of finalizing it right now, but normally, as everybody knows, we are built for middle school and high school kids. And it's kind of a drop-in, whenever they want to come in. We will be probably setting up specific times that 6th, 7th, 8th grade and high school can attend, and we'll be obviously messaging that to our community. So, because we will have to limit numbers, we are carving up the building in terms of how to use each space. Example would be our game room, which normally has 12 kids to 14 kids in the game room at one time. We'll be limited to around 6 kids. There'll be spaces in between different things. We're turning a room that's going to have individual plastic. It's going to be our academic room where kids can actually do their homework. We will be looking at splitting up the gymnasium to use to follow guidelines. So we're very excited about how we're going to use our building. Obviously, we're putting a lot of safety things in, such as I mentioned, the plastic. When you come in, at the front door right now, you'll see a wonderful customer service person at the front desk, but they will be behind, just like you see at any kind of takeout store, restaurant, the bank. They'll all be, there'll be a transaction area where, you put your membership card in and you check it in. So we're working on the staffing. We will probably have to increase staffing a little bit from what we usually do in the fall, just like we had to do on a big scale in the summertime. But we feel we can do this and following guidelines and being able to track kids that are here. We've always had a really great tracking system through our membership program in terms of who's in the building at what time. We will be now, being able to track that even more. We will try to use outdoor space as much as we possibly can, because we've obviously proved, and the science proves, that, outdoors is better. We are actually having our HVAC system completely looked at, making sure there's no issues. We'll be doing an entire maintenance program before we open up on the 21st. Steve Foster is coordinating that. Our building has been thoroughly cleaned since the end of our summer programs. So we will have obviously a clean and safe building when we reopen. We are working with our town cleaning service, and they've done a great job throughout the summer of making sure that we have safe protocols and cleaning the building every single day. And we are excited about this. We are one of the few municipal, our staff has actually been back in the building working full time since mid-May, where most people haven't been doing that. And obviously, we follow the guidelines, and you know, as I said, the masks will still be in play for everything we're doing if we can't be 6 feet away from each other. So, obviously, everything that we've proven this summer that we can do is going to make this reopening, in my opinion, extremely easy. We will look at how to best time things, and that's what we're working on right now. But I'm excited to say that the youth center may not be available on an everyday basis like it was for kids in the past, but it will be open X amount of hours and days for the kids. So we once again ask our council, you folks, as well as the Joseph N. Herman Inc., to continue to support our initiative to operate in a very crazy time, obviously following all types of safe guidelines. We are actively involved with every guideline that changes every Friday, so we're optimistic that we are going to see, you know, maybe even some lessening of guidelines a little bit more. Our numbers in North Andover are phenomenal. At this point in time, only 2 positive COVID-19 cases, and obviously based on the successes that we've had in this summer. And I do want to say that the success, a lot of the other groups, Rick DeLance programs through the school, the track camp, the NASA camp, all followed our guidelines to a T. And again, they all had 0 COVID-19 cases. So obviously we know how to do this. We know how to do it safe. We will continue to follow the science. We will continue to follow the direction of Melissa's leadership and the governor's leadership. But we are optimistic to get going and get this building back open.
Rick, I think it's really important for just the social and emotional well-being of the kids and adolescents in our community. And again, tip my cap to you and your staff. Any questions for Rick when it comes to
I would just, before you get to questions, Andy, if I could just point to that. I didn't spend enough time on that because I'm looking at the safe and, you know, why we need to do it. The social and emotional aspect of our kids is the paramount thing of why we need to reopen. It is also the #1 reason why kids followed the guidelines. They did not want to be home. They did not want to be cooped up. They wanted to be with their friends. And at this point in time, I could spend hours telling people of how concerned I am of the long-term effects of these kids being cooped up last spring. And for kids that did not participate this summer, we need to truly understand the social and emotional effects of what the pandemic is coming. The virus is horrendous. The virus is bad, but I don't think we're thinking enough about what the social and emotional impact is. So we, as an agency and a department, need to be on the cutting edge of this, and we are going to be it, and that's why everyone is going to need to support this. We've proven we can do it, and I need everyone's back, and that we will continue to do it, obviously following every guideline.
Yeah, you know, Rick, I keep thinking back to the study we did with Merrimack 2 or 3 years ago, and the information and the highlights in terms of social and emotional aspect of adolescence that came out of that study in normal times, quote unquote.
Sure.
I just keep thinking back to that study and the need for us to support our youth and our community as a whole. And that's where my mind keeps going when I think about our programming and what you're doing for the community.
Thanks. I'll take any questions if anyone has any.
Rick, this is
Okay,
Terry.
hearing no questions. Rick, if there's anything that we as the council can do to support the initiatives, please do let me know. And we do look forward to reviewing that proposal after you've had a chance to present it to Melissa and the town officials.
Yes, we will forward that. Demi's going to stay on the line. I do want to finish by saying that, as the only one of the few people in this town, municipal employees that's actually worked for every town manager since 1988, I have to applaud the leadership of Melissa Rodriguez throughout this whole process. In working with every town manager in the past, quite honestly, there would have been some town managers that would have not allowed me to even talk about doing the programs. We've also I worked for a few town managers that are strong personalities that probably would have micromanaged the thing almost to a fault. I can't say enough about Melissa and Dee and the town government in terms of trusting the experts, being ourselves, and how to do this, and trusting the medical experts to actually do this. And, we are talking about us presenting at the state municipal managers conference next year on doing this. We are getting a ton of comments and as well as questions from different communities how to do this. So, I think we did a great job, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that we cannot do this without a strong town leadership, and so impressed and so happy that I work for Melissa Rodriguez.
Awesome. Truly,
I'm going to duck out, so Demi is going to stay on for any other related questions on that. And as you know, we will continue to do these virtual board meetings. So we will send you the fall plan, and then we hope to get back to meeting again as our usual schedule is in September.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Good luck at the meeting this morning.
Thank you.
I'm going to go back to the first agenda item and call for a vote for the representatives to the town's Commission for Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity. Larry Allen had expressed interest in being this board's nominee to the select board. Do I have any, I guess I need a motion to do that. Do I have anyone making a motion?
I motion Larry Allen to serve as our board's representative.
Who is that, Dan?
Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, okay. Do we have a second?
Second. Terry.
Who was that made the second? Was that?
Terry.
Terry, awesome. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, I'll take a roll call vote to appoint Larry Allen as the representative to the town's Commission for Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity. Jenna Sidori.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Dan Moore.
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Holly Williams, are you on the line? Peter Breen, are you on the line? Kevin Driscoll? Larry Allen?
We had to vote for myself, but yes.
I guess that's one way you can say you're not interested in accepting it anymore. And I, Andrew Furman, am a yes. Congratulations, Larry. I will let Lori and the select board know. And appreciate that.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. You're welcome.
The last agenda item, as we all know, our gala was canceled for this year. That's a major fundraiser for the youth center, as well as an opportunity to provide scholarships or I guess for lack of better description for our youth that need memberships. Demi, are you able to talk on the virtual auction that we had?
I can definitely touch on it. Holly did a lot of the legwork in getting our online auction situated, but I do know that it was successful. We were really happy with it. It just finished up last Friday, and we've just been in the process of, or finished up 2 Fridays ago, and we've been in the process of getting those items out to everyone. But we were definitely happy with it. We also did a virtual ad book. We normally do our printed ad book at the auction, but that virtual ad book is on our website right now, and that has a lot of a lot of organizations and businesses that have supported us, as well as pictures and bios on all of the seniors who received scholarships this year, college scholarships, and our 2 Youth of the Year as well. So I would love for people to check that out. That can be found on our website.
The video of the 2 co-youths of the year giving their speeches on the website, is it not?
It is. That's on the website as well.
Awesome. Any questions on the virtual auction?
Nope.
All right. Any other
One thing-
items?
Andy, one
Yep.
thing that I do know we fell a little bit short on that we're still working on is we did not get as many sponsorships for scholarships for the like you said, for the kids who need memberships that can't afford them. So we would still take donations for those scholarships. So I'll be putting out more information on that.
And Demi, what are what exactly are the parameters? What are we asking for in terms of monetary amount, or is it whatever people can?
So it's
can afford?
it's $125 for a membership for the year. So we consider that to be a membership scholarship, but really any donation we could put towards that if someone couldn't do the full 125.
And if members of the board and/or community are interested in participating in that, that is currently on the website, or should they reach out directly to you?
It is on the website. If you go to nayouth.com, there is a link for donate, and you can donate there through PayPal.
Perfect. I appreciate that. And folks, if we haven't taken a look at that and we have the opportunity, please do. Any questions for Demi or any other items that folks wish to discuss?
Andy, if I may bring up, what are we doing now financially, budget-wise, et cetera, due to the COVID hitting us this year? Are we in the red, or are we okay for now?
That's a great question. Given it is not an agenda item, and we don't normally meet in August, but given the pandemic, I felt it was necessary for us to meet to discuss the summer programming and the fall programming. What I'd like to do is to put that on the agenda for our September meeting when Rick is on the phone and can address that completely. But that is a great question. But given it's not an agenda item, I'd rather put that on the agenda for our September meeting, if that's okay.
Of course.
Fine with me.
Awesome. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
We have a second to Larry's motion to adjourn.
Jonathan seconds.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Awesome. Guys, I appreciate you getting together. I do want to thank NA CAM for their early morning accommodations for us. Everyone have a fantastic start to the fall and to the school year, whatever that might look like. I wish much health and safety and wellness for you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.